What's gravy, baby? You already know who it is, man. It's your boy Trey. Follow the TrayWay. I never leave you astray. And today we'll be talking about abilities. Who has the best abilities? What are the best abilities? How do you find out who gets what abilities for cheap? This all about abilities, bro. And we also will have a little team update as well to end off the video. So I would really appreciate you guys for liking the video, sharing, subscribing, do all that stuff for the boy. Appreciate y'all for stopping through. Let's get right into it. So abilities. Trey, what are the best damn abilities we can use on our players, bro? Like, what are we talking about? So we're gonna start with the offensive side of the ball. And right now the name of the game is using abilities for cheap, trying to get the best abilities for the least amount of coins. That's what we talk about right now. You hear me? All right, so that's what we talk about. As far as offensive goes, tight ends and offensive linemen, it doesn't make sense, bro. Don't waste AP on these positions. At this point in time, we only have 8 damn AP on offense. It is not worth it wasting. It's not worth it wasting it on O linemen or tight ends. It's just not, guys. All right, yes, there are some good O-line abilities, like of course we know, like abilities like edge protector and nasty streak are good abilities, yes, but it's just not worth it right now, guys. It's just not worth it, because you gotta have abilities on your quarterback. You have to have abilities on your receivers if you can, and running back as well. All right, so that's how I feel about those positions. But if I had to choose, edge protector, nasty streak are probably the top 2. All right, so over here, when we come to receivers, the top ones I'm going to tell you is going to probably be deep out. What the hell just happened, bro? EA, don't be playing. Hey, don't be playing with me now, EA. Don't be doing me like that now. All right, so I'm going to say deep out. Okay, if you can get it for cheap, deep out, deep in, these are 2 I recommend. Okay, deep in for the slot guys, deep out for the outside guys. Those 2, yes. Route tech, no. It really only works when dudes are running man, and not a lot of guys run man. Sometimes you may run against some guys that run 2-man under, but it don't happen a lot. But sometimes you will run against 2-man under maniacs, and this will actually be beneficial. But more times than not, you won't run into that. You're running into a lot of zone. So deep out elite and deep in elite, I do recommend. Okay, if you can't get those for cheap, which not a lot of players get those for cheap, I recommend just doing like mid out. Do like mid in or mid out. Do one of these 2 for 2 and you okay. The apprentices aren't as good as they used to be, because now we can do corner routes without even needing these. We used to need these to even run corner routes. Now we can run corner routes without using these. So what's the point of having these? We could do post, we could do corner routes. I think the only good thing about these will maybe be you can maybe do a zig route for like slot apprentice guys. You may be able to run a zig route or a crosser. Okay, but that's the only reason that these make sense, zig routes and crossers. Okay, but honestly it's not worth it, so I will stay away from the apprentices. All right, anything else for receivers, I'm not really going to vouch for anything else. It just doesn't make sense to put anything else on these guys, to be honest. All right, nothing else. Mid out, mid in, deep out, deep in. Those are the ones that I am recommending when it actually comes to offensive wide receiver abilities. We come over here to the running back. This is the thing, Vita Vea is about to be off my goddamn team because he's ass. All right, he's too slow. I didn't know his acceleration was 83, bro. I did not know his acceleration was that damn low. If his acceleration was that low, I don't even know if I would have got this dude. But he has made some good plays for me, stiff arming dudes, running over dudes, fighting for yardage, and then he also has tank and bulldozer on him for 2, which is pretty good, and they do work. But it's like, bro, that 83 acceleration is terrible. If he had like 95 acceleration with 93 speed, then we talking. But bro, it's just too slow, dog. That acceleration is just terrible, and he has to go. But as far as running backs go, I recommend Tank, I recommend Bulldozer. I also recommend Evasive and Human Joystick. Those are my top 4. All right, depending on which one you want to use, hey, it's up to you. Spin Cycle, I forgot another one I recommend, because spinning is the best right now. It's way better than juking. Spin moves is the way to go. All right, so if you can't get Evasive, I say just put Spin Cycle on them. Just go Spin Cycle, bro. All right, so Spin Cycle for cheap, Bulldozer for cheap, Tank for cheap, and Human Joystick for cheap. Those are the abilities I say are very good for running backs. You heard me? Got it? Good. So what's gonna happen is Vita Vea is gonna be off my team, and I'm probably just gonna rock out with Tavon Austin for now and just throw Spin Cycle on him for 2 and call it a day. You know what I'm saying? That's most likely what I'm gonna do. I'm just gonna use Tavon Austin, throw Spin Cycle on him, and that's that. And I'm gonna have Christian McCaffrey as the backup, and that's just what it's gonna be. Cause Vita Vea right now, I just can't use him, bro. I can't really use him because he's just too damn slow. As far as quarterbacks go, with quarterbacks, guys, this is what I'm gonna say is Gunslinger you have to have. All right, if you don't have Gunslinger, you're gonna need Set Feet Lead, but not a lot of guys get Set Feet Lead for cheap. So I'm just gonna say Gunslinger, bro. Gunslinger is the easiest and best ability that works that you need for your quarterback. 2 AP or below. You heard me? If you need to get most of your abilities that you have on your player, the key is to get them for 2 AP or 1 AP. Right now, 2 AP or 1 AP. Who gets what abilities for 2 and 1? That's the question you gotta ask yourself. So quarterbacks, Gunslinger, I say yes. All right, that's number 1 in my book for sure. Number 2, if I had to choose, I would go Conductor. Number 2, I would go Conductor, because at the hike, like when your guys are coming up to the line of scrimmage, you can easily just audible 2 quick audibles or a few quick audibles and adjustments and hike the ball. It's good for quick hiking and catching your opponents off guard, because most guys have to set up their defense. So if you come out, hit a couple quick hot routes on your opponent and they're not ready, they're not set, you get an easy free play. Yes, I hate quick hiking because I get caught up a lot trying to set up my defense, but Conductor makes it to where you can potentially catch more guys off guard while they're setting up their defenses. Okay, so Conductor, I would say for sure number 2. Protected, sleight of hand, red zone deadeye, gusty scrambler, lofting deadeye, anchor extender, quick draw, ass, trash. All right, roaming deadeye, fast break, inside deadeye, high point deadeye, dashing deadeye, all the deadeyes. You know what I'm saying? Trash, ass. All right. What's my opinion on Hot Route Master and Master Tactician? Listen, man, with those 2 abilities, they take away your streaks. Okay, so listen, if you care about streaks, don't use Hot Route Master or Master Tactician. Just don't do it. If you don't care about streaks, then hey, use Master Tactician. You get it's basically Conductor, Playmaker, and Hot Route Master mixed into one. Okay, so if you don't care about your streaks, this right here is a very, very good ability. All right, so is Hot Route Master. That's what I would say about those 2. Fearless doesn't really matter anymore. It used to be a big deal, but right now Fearless doesn't matter, because if EA wants you to throw a terrible ball, they're gonna make you throw a terrible ball no matter what you got on them. So Fearless, I would say, bro, is not worth it anymore. So there you go. That's what I feel about the quarterback abilities. All right, so as we go over the defense, we're gonna talk about DBs first. Right now, mid zone and pick artists are the 2 abilities that guys are mainly using. Okay, which way do I rather go? I rather go pick artists. You may be like, Trey, why? Because knockouts right now, I don't give a damn about, because if you guys don't know, drops have been boosted. Guys are dropping the ball even more right now. Okay, they definitely, the last patch or tuning update, whatever they did, drops have been happening more frequently. I'm just being honest with you guys. So in that case, I'd rather just take mid zone off and go for pick artists. because pick artist does actually make your players go for interceptions more. Like, you will actually see without pick artists, they don't go for interceptions as much, but with pick artists, they actually try to get interceptions, okay, and they will catch it more than not. Yes, will you get cheated every now and then and get hold and your guys not catch one? Yes, it's EA Sports, bruh. You go get your ass hold, you know what I'm saying? It's just gonna happen, babe. But more than not, they will catch the interception and have a better ability to go for interceptions and have a better ability to go for 6 after those interceptions. So finding pick artists for 1 or 2 AP is the goal. If you can get pick artists all for 1, then you good, you gravy. I got 1 AP pick artist on Richard Sherman, 1 AP pick artist on here for Marlon Humphrey. Okay, so some of these guys, they get mid zone for 1. If you want to go the mid zone route, try to find new players that get mid zone for 1. All right, try to find that. Paul Krause gets it for 2, and then Pat Tilly-Teal gets it for 2. All right, I can find replacements for those 2 guys and see about getting, you know, 2 other guys that get pick artists for 1, but right now I don't really care about that, so I'm just leaving those 2 for now. All right, as far as linebackers, if you are using linebackers, if you're using linebackers like I do, lurk artist is the wave. I don't care what else, whatever else y'all talk about, bro. I don't give a damn. I don't care whatever else you guys are talking about. Lurk artist is the #1 ability for linebackers. Why? Because it helps them out in coverage when they're playing coverage, and for your user, it also helps with catching interceptions with whoever you're using, like I am with Anthony Barr. Okay, so lurk artist for sure, #1 linebacker ability. If I have to say any other abilities, if you have anybody that can get avalanche as a linebacker, avalanche is also another good one you could throw on your user or on a linebacker. Okay, but that's all I'm really vouching for, bro. Like, if you're a mid zone guy, if you're a guy that want to go out there and run mid zone, yeah, there's guys that get mid zone for cheap when it comes to linebackers. So go out there and see, hey, who gets mid zone for cheap, you know what I'm saying, as a linebacker. And if you want to do that instead of lurk artist, go ahead. But me personally, lurk artist the way to go. All right, when it comes to a linebacker, because I use Sean Taylor in coverage, I use Devin Lloyd in coverage, because they both have high zone, good speed, and they can get lurk artists. So that's why I'm doing that. All right, the Rob Gronkowski, he usually just loops for me and blitzes, but in cases where I put him out in coverage, he can still make plays, bro. He can still make plays in coverage, dog, but just not as much as the other guys. As far as D lineman goes, all right, I'm going to say if you can get you a cheap 1 AP inside stuff, that's what I recommend. Okay, a cheap 1 AP inside stuff is good. All right, Jordan Davis, he's the best value and gut player for 1 AP inside stuff. What other abilities? I mean, if you're running a shed defense, edge threat is good as well. Edge threat is a good ability. Double or nothing, I would say go away from it, because you might get a lot of nothing. You hear me? An ability that has nothing in it, I'm not using it, because I'm going to get nothing decent amount of time with dealing with EA. But edge threat, a good ability. No outsiders, a good ability. And then I will also say inside stuff, a good ability. All right, depending on which way you want to go, no outsiders, I would say, is not as good as it used to be in recent years. That's why I personally would say deep outsiders, you don't need it. If you want it, it's more like a luxury. It's a luxury to have this, but you don't need it. That's the way I look at no outsiders. Yes, it's a luxury, but you don't need it. Edge threat, if you want to use edge threats instead of some other defensive abilities, then hey, edge threats are good if you just want to sit back, rush 3, and, you know, use your coverage, bruh. You know, but you're gonna have to take a hit. Edge threat's not cheap. It's 3 AP for most players. If you can find edge threat for cheap for like 2 AP or even 1, then cool. You can rock a couple edge threats and have pick artists on all your DBs, and then that's it. And then, you know, have lurk artists on your linebackers. Because let's just say I get a safety with 1 AP pick artist right here, and my other safety another 1 AP. That frees up 2 AP for me. So that way I can actually find 2 guys that get 1 AP edge threat and throw them on the line. And then we moving. We gravy. But right now, there's not really anybody that gets edge threat for 1, I believe. So that's kind of tough to do. All right. So that's pretty much that for the defensive lineman. Like I said, inside stuff I believe is more beneficial. No outsiders if you really want to use it as a luxury, or if you really like no outsiders and think it works, hey, go ahead and edge threat if you have the AP that you can spread around. So as far as finding who gets what ability, just use the catalog, guys, depending on which way you want to go. Like I was saying, if you want to find you a D lineman, oh, I want to see who gets, you know, edge threat for cheap. Like, does anybody gets edge threat for like 1 or 2? Just come in here in the catalog and look and see. You know what I'm saying? Look and see. Does anybody get it for cheap? You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't really know. That's a good question for me. Who gets edge threat for cheap when it comes to defensive linemen? I really don't know. Does anybody get it for very cheap? Okay, here's a 1 AP edge threat right here, guys. Here's one. All right, he's expensive as hell, but here is a 1 AP edge threat. So if you run a defense where you're not sending a lot of pressure, you're sending 3 and you're playing maximum coverage, this guy is a dub for you, because he gets 1 AP edge threat edge threat, and you can just throw him out there and he's going to be getting sheds. All right, who else gets 1 AP edge threat? I'm not sure. I don't know if there's anybody else that gets it for 1, guys, but Van den Bosch, he is one card that does, but he's very, very expensive. All right, so if anybody else gets it, they're probably going for a crap load of coins, guys. They're probably going for a lot if anybody else gets it from 1. All right, so even he doesn't either. So Van den Bosch is glitchy in the fact where he gets that for 1 AP. So that's pretty much what you guys have to do when it comes for searching for, hey, what players get what. Go to the catalog, go to the position you're looking for, look for the price of, you know, good prices for who gets what. Because an example is, hey Trey, I want a quarterback with 2 AP or cheap gunslinger. Okay, cool. Come in here and find out. Oh, Aaron Rodgers, he gets 2 AP gunslinger, but he's going for 2 goddamn million. So why the hell would I use him? And guess what? Guys like Marcus Mariota, this dude right here, he gets 2 AP as well for his gunslinger, and he's faster than Aaron Rodgers. Oh, Garcia, which is the quarterback I'm using now, he gets 2 AP gunslinger and faster than Aaron Rodgers. So I was like, bro, why the hell would I spend $2 million on Aaron Rodgers and all these other quarterbacks get 2 AP gunslinger? Why would I do that? You know what I'm saying? Does Lamar Jackson get it for 2? Even he gets it for 2. You heard me? So it's like, bro, I got all these other cards that gets it for 2. Why would I spend $2 million on a damn Aaron Rodgers? So that's another thing you guys have to look at. Look at how much coin you guys are spending. Okay? Look at how much coins you guys are spending. Make sure it makes sense and use the correct abilities for cheap. That's the name of the game. What abilities can you get for cheap right now to maximize the amount of abilities you can have on your team? All right, that's the name of the game. As far as my team updates, hey, just a couple of updates for you guys. I did get Jordan Davis. I told you about the 1 AP inside stuff. He's like one of the cheapest cards that gets that. Marlon Humphrey, 1 AP pick artist. That's why I added him. All right, I think that's pretty much it for the defensive side of the ball. Offense, Xavier Worthy. I had a couple of 91s sitting in my bonder, and I sniped a couple of 91s to complete his set from the playoff promo. All right, 97 speed, 95 excel. I just want to add more speed to my team, so he's playing the slot now. He took Julio Jones' spot. All right, and then Joe Thuney, he is the best season pass player right now. Why, may you ask? Because he's a 94 overall lineman, and most of the 94 overall linemen right now are very expensive, because most of the good ones are, guess what, 94 overall. All right, so that's why Joe Thuney's right there now. So that's pretty much that for my updates. Vita Vea will be gone next time you see the squad, but let me know what other abilities you guys think are good that I may have missed out on. And also cheap ability guys. Who are some guys that get good abilities for cheap? You know what I'm saying? Cheap abilities and players that don't cost that much. Let me know if there's anybody else that you guys recommend in the comment section, man. I appreciate y'all for stopping through for the video, man. Till next time, y'all stay blessed, be easy, stay breezy, man.